Alright, let's give Saturday's Daily Puzzle on chess.com a shot. This one's called Passing with Flying Colors. It's white to move. Give the video pause and try it yourself if you feel like it. Alright, so I got some checks here. Sack the rook. That doesn't seem very useful. I guess it would draw the king onto this diagonal. I've got two checks with the knight. Both of them are protected by pawns. I've also got this. So a decent amount of things to consider here. None of them look great to me immediately. I think with either of these checks, the king doesn't even have to take. I guess this is a check too. Yeah, so the king is trapped right now. Okay. Yeah, so can I just go here, then here, then here? That looks interesting to me. Because if I get both of these pawns out of here, then this is really nasty. The king will have this move. But then I have this. That might be mate. It might be a checkmate here. Alright, so I'm thinking probably this first. So why would the order matter here, I guess, is like, why would it matter whether I took with the knight or jumped here with the knight first or the pawn? Alright, let me just try to, okay, so if I go here, pawn takes, knight here, that's going to force this pawn to take. The king has nowhere to go. So pawn takes, and then I have this, right? And then a king here, bishop here. Oh man, I was thinking this file was open. This pawn being here is actually a problem. It's gotta be something like this move order, or like I just gotta switch out the move order. Is the knight gonna have to deliver the mate? Like maybe it's this first, or could it be so this first? Because if this pawn takes, this is so confusing. I'm having a hard time calculating this, and I don't understand why the move order is gonna matter at all. Okay, if I go here, pawn takes. Here, pawn takes. Here. Oh, this might work. I think the queen might be forced to take. No, because the pawn's going to be here. This actually might be checkmate. So here, pawn takes. Here, pawn takes. Both of those take. I mean, so this pawn could take this way. But I think either way, the king's going to have to go here. I think this works. Wait a second. I'm going to have a hard time figuring out the order here. But here, this pawn's going to take. Here, this pawn's going to take. And then this pawn is in the way of the queen, so my knight hops in here. King here is the only move. Rook here is checkmate. Is it not? Wait, no, this square isn't covered. Oh man, okay. It's something to do with this. The move order is so hard to figure out. I think it's going to be this. And I'm having a hard time saying why. How do I take away this square? Or this square? So if I go here, this is absolutely forced. Immediately. How am I taking away this lane from the king? I can't figure it out. Is it going to be a knight check and then rook? Will that work? So here takes, here takes, take with the knight. And now these two squares are taken away. King here, like rook here almost works, but the king has a square in all of these lines. There's always some like little getaway. It's like has to be these three moves, like some combination of the two pawns and then one of these knight moves, and I just can't figure out which one works. There's here, here, here. Here, 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 here. It just doesn't work. I don't know which way it goes. All right, so I was just doing this line. Here, I can't see why. Which one works? Here, here. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I mean, it must be these moves, right? Is it this first? I don't know. Okay, I don't know why I really felt like it had to be that one. I think it's because this pawn cutting off the queen seems important. And now, like it had to be this, I felt like, and this, but I can't figure out how to make it work. Because the king, my rook needs to take away this square from the king, but I also like need the rook to hop over here. I hadn't considered this at all. I don't think that's gonna work though. I think it must, because even if, like, Black's about to promote here. So I gotta make a checkmate happen. Pawn here, takes, knight check, king here. So I can check with the knight. I don't know how that would benefit me. Would it? Wait a second. Check, king here. No. Check, pawn takes. Knight check. King only has one move. It's here. Then I have check. No, the king can still move down, can't it? Because his pawn is gone. This has to be the next move, though, right? There's no way I do this. It's got to be this, right? I don't know. I just haven't calculated this. I'm so bummed that I'm not getting this puzzle right because I have the idea and I just can't figure it out. And then it must be this, right? Like, am I going crazy? What else would I possibly be doing? Check, knight here. My bishop, it feels like my bishop has to get involved somehow and I can't figure out how to get it involved. Is it just this? Does this? No. Check, king here. Check. If that forces the king to this square, is there a benefit to that? I don't think so. My rook's just getting attacked. But it must be this, right? Like, what else am I doing? Am I wrong? Like, what's going on? I checked this line. I didn't see how it was working, if it is. Because the king now has, it could go to either of these two squares. And then I could check it here. And it has to go back to here, and that's mate. Oh my god. That's such a long line to have to calculate with all those. Like, that move order thing was so crazy. I got here by process of elimination. I just couldn't see anything else, but I think I got it, right? So here, king has to go to, it doesn't matter, either one of these two squares, because after I check it on this square, it just has to go right back where it came from, and I made room for my bishop to get in for the checkmate. Oh, that's a disgusting puzzle. I kind of got it right. I'm kind of psyched I got it right, but like, I kind of had to guess on a couple. But I think process of elimination, I'm giving myself this one. Nice solve, dude. Couple pats on the back. All right, let's run that back. I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this. I think I probably can, but that was crazy. All right, nutty puzzle on a Saturday. Took me a really long time. I had the idea. There's 3 checks that you can give with these 3 pieces, and it had to be some combination of this because there's only 2 pawns that are kind of protecting all these squares. So if you push one of these pawns is going to have to take with en passant. The king is totally trapped, boxed in by my rook and this pawn. So I knew it must be some combination of these moves, and I just couldn't figure out the order. Finally, I arrived on this because I liked that the pawn had to take with en passant right here and kind of block the queen's vision. That is the first move in the puzzle. This pawn absolutely has to take. The problem is that once this pawn takes, now the king has movement. It can go this way. I've opened up a square for the king, and I was just trying to figure out how to make this work, and the line is still really long from here. So the next move is to check with this pawn, and that's going to force this pawn to take, only move, and then my knight gets in. But my knight's kind of on a square where I want my bishop to be, which is a problem. So I move here with my knight, and the king moves to this open square. And I got to here and just couldn't figure out what to do. And finally, like, just made these moves happen in the puzzle, and then I saw it. Because if I go here with the knight, the king has 2 moves. So I kind of stopped calculating there because it seemed too complicated to calculate. But once the king goes here, my knight can rotate around to here, and I'm going to be checking this king either way that the king goes. So I go here. Doesn't matter which way the king goes. It could have gone to this square too. After I go here, it would have had to go right back to the same square it was on, and then I can checkmate with the bishop. Really difficult puzzle. Cool one. But I got it right, but it took me a while, and I still was unsure. But we got there, dude. There it is. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.